I gotta say, this was definitely an interesting read. Um, so, what the story's about is there's this kid named Yakumo. He's like 16 years old, and he comes across this girl named Pai. Now, Pai is someone that his father met, whom his father is I think it was like an archaeologist or an anthropologist or some shit like that. Went to Tibet, and apparently Pai was supposed to find Yakumo like 6 months, but she'd been searching for him for like 4 or 6 years. So, to not fill you up too much with, just pointless rhetoric, essentially, Pi is a monster that does not look like a monster called the Sanjian, or the Three Eyes. They are mystical. They are mythical beings that have three eyes. Now, their third eye is not always shown. Of course, it's right here in the forehead. Think of Tien Shinhan from the Dragon Ball franchise, like that. However, she seems to be the last one around. And with that being said, even though they have really, really long lifespans to the point of immortality, okay, she wants to become human. But it turns out that this clan has a gift. And that gift is to absorb other people's souls, or soul they're choosing, and making that person the person that got their soul absorbed, a Wu, or an immortal, a zombie, voidless, whatever you want to call them. Yakumo ends up becoming this Wu. And by becoming that, him and Pai are now one and the same. If Pai dies, he dies. So, in a sense, he becomes like, I don't know, an unkillable shield. The only way to turn Pai human, like fully human, and also to bring Yakumo's humanity back, because now he's really not human either, is to find a statue called the Ningen statue, or the Statue of Humanity, which is a statue that Pai has only seen in person a long time ago, back when her people were actually thriving. The structure of the series reminds me a lot of, say, like Yu Yu Hakusho and Ranma One Half, but like without all the comedy. It also reminds me of Ushio and Tora, except, the protagonist and the deuteragonist aren't at each other's throats. They're working with each other. Although the deuteragonist, being Pai, she seems to be clueless about a lot of situations. So far, it seems the end goal here is for them to retrieve the statue, which they almost had, but of course, to create a long-running story, you can't just have your heroes basically, achieve their goals right away. Now, I notice a lot of authors do this, where they'll basically they'll tease at the fact that the goal is about to be achieved, and that, as a reader, you're probably thinking like, oh, okay, cool. Or maybe you're thinking, oh man, it's gonna end now. Like, think like this, right? Before the Shikon jewel got broken, scattered into many little pieces, if the Shikon jewel would have just been its, severic form, then Inuyasha or whomever would have, gotten hold of it, would have gotten their, I don't want to say wish, but lack of better terms, their wish granted. So just like with this statue, the Ningen statue that Pai so desperately needs in order to become human, well, it gets sent to the netherworld or the underworld, which is fucking weird because the way it got sent, the statue's not that big at all. It's like basically fits in your palm of your fucking hand. That's how big the statue is, okay? It gets thrown into the air. This like reptilian fucking hand comes out of the sky, grabs it, and sucks it right in. And apparently it's in the underworld? I'm sorry, I'm a little baffled by that. Unless this guy was just a fucking portal for whatever creature grabbed the statue to pull it into the underworld. That's the only logical thing I could think of. So far, aside from Pai, we've met about four other they call them demons in this series. So there's one demon that looks like a normal person, but they can turn their body into like a giant fucking claw and slash shit. Another one called a Gesu, which looks very amphibian, except for it has like one big ass eye, and whomever it bites, it could turn into its cronies, basically, or its version of zombies. But these quote-unquote zombies aren't immortal like our boy Yakumo, okay? There's this lady who turns into some kind of, I don't know, thing. I don't remember her name, really. Pai carries a staff, which, once the staff gets opened up, a big-ass creature with the face of a man, or face of a human, and the body of a giant fucking bird appears. This creature is kind of a nuisance in the first chapter, but later it becomes it's not necessarily an ally. Think of this creature as like Kira, Sango's like demonic pet. Think of it like that. Now, honestly, I'm more interested in seeing whether or not this series is going to be either a character-driven series, or if the series is going to be a plot-driven series. I honestly haven't heard of any single person that has read this manga. I've heard of people that have seen the short-lived anime, but never heard of anybody that's actually read this manga. And as far as I know, this manga, only out of 40 volumes, only like maybe 9 or 10 got published by Dark Horse Comics. Now, I'm not doing this review series to hopefully one day, get somebody to be like, hey, maybe we should bring this back. Or maybe we should, continue on with the license and, bring out this manga for the public. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just doing it because I remember seeing a clip of the anime a long fucking time ago, back when I was probably like maybe 17, 18 years old, and thinking, holy fuck, this looks fucking cool. And then stumbling upon like random images of the manga itself and thinking, oh wow, this art looks just fan-fucking-tastic. But as you guys know, art really isn't the one for all thing that makes a manga great. Does it make it makes it appeasing to the eyes. That's what it does. But what makes a manga purely great is how it's written. That's what I honestly believe. Alright, and with that being said, if you guys took a chance to read Volume 1, and by the way, if you're wondering what chapter you should end at with Volume 1, Volume 1 goes up to Chapter 9, or if you get to the chapter called Gesu, the Gesu Curse, Part 4, there you go. That's the end of Volume 1. Now, really, with that being said, what do you guys think of 3x3 Eyes, Volume 1? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. What else? Yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that notification icon. That way you'll know when I put out my next video, which should be tomorrow, and it'll most likely, no, it will be Inuyasha Volume 27, I believe. Alright, until then, ciao for now.